Golf 8, Charlie Whiskey.
Roger, Charlie Whiskey. What's the name there?
Roger, Charlie Whiskey. What's the name there?
His name is Mike.
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Well, we're running the Yaesu FTDX-101 MP and feeding that into a Alpha 87A and a dipole at the moment. You're coming in about S8, S9 on the vertical and S9 plus 10 on the dipole, so we thought we'd start out here.
Roger, Mike, and where are you located, sir?
We are in northern Michigan, small town of Beulah near Crystal Lake. Currently getting 6 more inches of snow. We have warmed up from -6 to about 27, so it's almost like a heat wave.
Almost like Miami, Florida, but not quite. But hopefully Mother Nature will be kicking in a little warmer side here shortly. Well, I think we could probably help you out modulation-wise if you would be interested.
Yep, running an Electro Voice 320 right now, straight into the rig, no kind of equalization. So yeah, let's see what a trained ear might come up with.
All right, sir. It starts with our generic setup with the engaging your compressor at a 3. It's a very small amount, but it does what we need it to do. So turn your compressor on at a 3, Roger.
Yep, and on this rig, on a 3, it goes by a digital number. Currently running it at about 48%, keeping it around the 10% mark.
Okay, so you are 0 to 100 on that input level control reading?
Yeah, it's a compressor reading, and it's 0 to 20 dB, and we're bouncing at right around the 10 dB mark.
Okay, so what we're looking for is about 30% of activity from that compressor. So right now you would be probably at about 50%. So we're looking maybe 15, somewhere in there. That would be, wouldn't that be about 30% of that compressor capability?
That would drop it down to 20% or 20 on the dial. How does that, any noticeable difference?
Well, what we're looking for again is a third. So what's your maximum reading on your input level?
20 dB, and then there's no graph beyond that on the compressor scale. Keeping it between half and 2/3 on the ALC, but on the compression reading, it's staying right around the, well, it's a little high now. It's like 10 to 14%, or dB rather.
I'll tell you what, why don't you give me a silent key for 3 seconds and let me see what happens here? Roger, I think you're good where you are there. Your dynamic range is 3 dB because your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. So let's consider that part done. Let's move to your onboard equalization. Roger.
Alrighty, I'll bring that menu up. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. When we get it up, I'd like to hear, if it's a 3-band EQ, what those settings are. Roger.
Okay, Jim, real good. Yeah, it's a 3-band, but it also is separate for both with and without the compressor, so I'm going to do the one with the compressor. Currently running 100 hertz, -2 and 2.
Okay, it's a 3-band EQ, and what we want to do is keep that middle EQ flat. We want to be sure our middle EQ on a 3-band is in the flat mode. Roger?
So you're talking around the 900 hertz range, and that's looking at a 2 level and a 2 bandwidth.
Roger. So, I mean, you have three controls, one for the treble, one for the mid-range, one for the bass. And I understand they're parametric, so let's just leave the parametric part where it is and just deal with the treble, mid-range, and bottom-end EQ. And the mid-range EQ should be plus or minus 0. We should neither be push nor cut on the mid-range. Roger? Okay, set at 0 for mid-range at 900 hertz. Yes, sir. Now move to your top end, and what's the top end EQ at the moment?
Top end EQ at the moment.
Well, we're running at 1900 hertz, plus 5 and a 1.
Okay, I want you. Can you move that center bandpass of that treble EQ up a little higher, maybe 25 or thereabouts?
5 or thereabouts.
Okay, there's 25.
Okay, and then as far as the level of that, 2 clicks hotter, 2 clicks push from where you are on the treble EQ. Roger?
Roger.
Okay, at 2500 or 2500 hertz, this has gone up 2 clicks. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roger, Roger. Do you have one more click available? If so, move it one more click up, boost.
Move it one more click up, boost.
Okay, I do. I went up one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I also have the bandwidth available for how wide it spreads out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Now, just out of curiosity, could you move that up to 27? 27 on that treble EQ? 27 center frequency?
The center frequency?
Okay, 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty, the frequency is in use. Other station frequency is in use. We're currently talking to MIKE-KG8CW in Michigan. And so, Mike, if you could give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system so I could hear your audio. Roger?
So I could hear your audio. Roger?
Okay, Jim, real good. Well, currently running a dipole. But it seems to be the stronger signal this afternoon. The vertical was about 4 dB down from there, so we stayed here. And that should be about enough time. KG8CW.
Roger, Mike. Now on that low end EQ, what are your numbers on that?
100 hertz minus 2, and the bandwidth or how wide it spreads is 2, which is a default setting.
All righty. Let's. Can you move that up to 150? Can you move your bass cut frequency up to 150?
Unfortunately, it jumps by 100, so here's 200.
Alrighty, and then on your, as far as your attenuation, make it 2 clicks roll from where you are. 2 clicks roll further on your bass EQ.
So 2 up or 2 down?
2 cut, 2 roll.
I guess I'm not clear on which way. It was a minus 2 and now it's a plus 2.
No. We want to cut 2 dB, reduce that control to minus 2 dB from where it was.
Okay, how's that? Minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Roger, and tell me in about 10 seconds what you like about your radio, Roger.
Well, it's upgraded from the AZ1000D years ago. This includes, of course, DSP processing, which is just phenomenal in CW. It's nothing to get down to 150. Phenomenal in CW. It's nothing hertz and virtually wipe out interference.
Roger, I think we got it, sir. I was using Rochester SDR initially to copy the mail on you, and these SDR, Internet SDR receivers roll off after 300 cycles, and so you were sounding pretty good on Rochester, and then I went over to my local antenna, and today is not a good day around here for local ham radio. I've got a lot of power line QRN, and so I'm having to run noise blank, and noise blank introduces a certain amount of distortion, but neither here nor there. My receiver is very flat down to 100 cycles, so when I went to my receiver, it was still a little muddy, so that's why we went back and did that bottom end EQ, and so now you're sounding both good on my local antenna and on the Internet SDRs. Roger?
On the Internet SDRs, Roger.
Okay, real good, Jim. Kind of curious. I've listened to the monitor on my end, and untrained ear, that's kind of the best that I could come up with. I do appreciate your time today. Got a question for you. In your years of broadcast, and equating from that, you say average typical best microphone would be for, say, a Yaesu radio. Do you have any opinion?
Oh gosh, I think by and large, if you were to get an electret microphone of almost anybody's design, it would probably outperform most dynamic microphones as far as articulation, top end, presence, and just being able to, in my estimation, even a El Cheapo electret condenser microphone versus a condenser versus a dynamic microphone is like walking through the door. Now it depends on if your radio has a DC voltage to run that electret, or do you have to run a preamp that furnishes phantom power supply to that microphone, Roger?
That microphone, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Electro Voice 320 here seems to perform pretty well. In fact, it performed better with the amount of output it was doing than I was pretty happy with it, and I was pretty happy overall with it. So I was pretty happy with it, and I was pretty happy overall with its waveform. All right, Jim, appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and hopefully the snow won't find you. KC9VKV, KG8CW.
Roger, Mike. Well, I'm saying the EVs are great mics, the 20s and all that through there. I've used a lot of those in commercial broadcasts, but I'm still saying that even a cheap electret microphone is just will give you so much more articulation in the top end. But that's my opinion, and so, opinions are like whatever, and, everyone's got one. So thanks for dropping by, Mike. And if you get a chance, you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 2/19/21, it will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
21, it will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Okay, QSL. Very good, Jim. Thanks. KG8CW.
Roger, Mike 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.